Day 2 of the president's defense is in the books. This was fascinating to watch, folks. The Senate was in session from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 9 o'clock at night. Just very roughly, there were about 7 hours of presentations from the president's team. Jay Sekulow, our chief counsel, the host of this broadcast, working in his private capacity as counsel to the president, served as sort of the manager of the narrative today. We heard several different presentations on a variety of topics from him, and then he yielded to several members of the president's legal defense team over the course of the day to give more detailed arguments about specific portions of the case. I thought it was very effective to hear from multiple people presenting on multiple topics, getting deep into the weeds on the legal details of the various issues. I thought it was tremendously effective. It was organized, it was calculated, it was detailed, and I thought it was really in control of the facts, folks. They stayed very focused on the facts and the evidence.
What we've done on Saturday is the pattern that we're going to continue today as far as how we're going to deal with the case. We deal with transcript evidence. We deal with publicly available information. We do not deal with speculation, allegations that are not based on evidentiary standards at all.
I think the American people deserve a proceeding, deserve deliberations, whether you're talking about a policy matter or certainly something that rises to the level of impeachment. The intelligence of the American people deserves to be presented with the facts, and that's what the debate should be on. But so often in the House, that's not what we saw play out. Yesterday in the Senate, Wes, we returned to facts, we returned to rule of law, and I really think that was a very appropriate and important shift in these proceedings.
It was key. It really was. As you said, in the House, there was so much innuendo. So many of the witnesses who were not fact witnesses were testifying based on their assumptions about so many things. And this whole impeachment process, it really is dangerous, Than. It's dangerous to the future American presidents, to the constitutional separation of powers. It's dangerous really to due process and to basic fairness. The Democrats' presentation in the House and the managers in the Senate has been so incomplete. It's designed to give limited information and to mislead so that they either ignore evidence or they edit out material that damages the credibility of their arguments.
We're next going to address a factual analysis. To briefly reflect, my colleague, the Deputy White House Counsel, Mike Papira, will be joining us in a moment to discuss more of the facts, to continue the discussion that we had on Saturday. But let me just recap very quickly what was laid out on Saturday. First, the transcript shows that the president did not condition either security assistance or a meeting on anything. The paused security assistance funds aren't even mentioned on the call. Second, President Zelensky and other Ukrainian officials repeatedly said there was no quid pro quo and no pressure on them to review anything. Third, President Zelensky and high-ranking Ukrainian officials did not even know the security assistance was paused till the end of August, over a month after the July 25th call. Fourth, not a single witness testified that the president himself said that there was any connection between any investigation and security assistance, a presidential meeting, or anything else. Fifth, the security assistance flowed on September 11th and a presidential meeting took place on September 25th without Ukrainian government announcing any investigations. Finally, in the blind drive to impeach the president, President Trump, in reality, strategically, has been the best friend and supporter of Ukraine, certainly in our recent history. These are the facts. That is what's before you.
President Trump's defense explored and exploited the House manager's case, consistent with T.S. Eliot's other brilliant claim that we should not cease from exploration, for the end of all of our exploration is to arrive at the place we started and to know the place for the first time. So where have we arrived? We have arrived at the facts that House managers consistently underplayed or misstated. Their case depends largely on speculation, innuendo, and falsehoods. But if we focus clearly on the facts, we move away from the world of exploration and we move toward a world that consists of reality, and that world of reality clearly supports the president and the president's defense team in this particular instance.
We are being joined by Jay Sekulow right now to give us a live update from the president's legal defense team. Jordan, I know you probably don't have a lot of time. Thank you for calling in. What's the latest from where you sit?
There was so much info yesterday. And remember, the first day we went was for just like a couple hours. Yesterday was the full day. Today is not going to be too long, probably a couple hours, maybe a little bit more. It could go longer. But, today you're going to hear from, obviously, the White House counsel. You're going to hear from the president's top outside counsel, our namesake for the show, Jay Sekulow, my dad, and others as well. We're not yielding back our time. We're going to let see what else, if anything, if we need to address or anything like that comes up, and then we'll get into questions. So this is not like the end you'll hear. I mean, there's a big debate coming with 16 hours of questions, and good news to everybody, they are short responses. You don't get like 20 minutes to answer a question, so you won't hear Adam Schiff for 20 minutes at a time or 30 minutes at a time. It's limited to. It could be 5 minutes, it could be less.
We keep giving you a look forward at what's going to happen, but you have to remember, this is the United States Senate. Things can change. Remember, initially, each side was only supposed to have 2 days to present their case. That got extended to 3 by consent. You can also have periods where one side might decide to yield back. And Jordan, I'm just going to come back to you on this point. Yeah. You said that you all are likely to not yield back your time. Even if you decide not to use it all, you may not yield it back. So these things are always fluid.
Very, very fluid. The words that will be uttered today, this has been a proud moment and honorable. It's an honor to be able to represent the president for everybody at that table, for everybody in the back rooms working on this and who have been working on this. But I want to ask for people's prayers today. I know they've been praying throughout this for strength, for wisdom, for clarity, so that the words that we have chosen, the words that we choose to use, are clear to the senators and to the American people.